I became a very angry person to have this happen to me at such a young age. We moved from Moriarty Street, we lived on Canterbury Street, Albert Street. In every single apartment, I think there was bad memory of being sexually abused. I grew up in a dysfunctional family, a family of alcoholics. When we got evicted, my parents had 6 kids. We were all 1 year apart, and we had nowhere to go. So my father said, we're only keeping Raymond. He's the oldest of the 6. My father said he would kill her if she told the landlord if they had other children. My mother was so afraid of him that she believed. I was put in an orphanage with my twin sister at age 7. My 3 brothers were put into a foster home. This went on for about a year, until one day the landlord came up to collect the rent, and my mother was crying in the kitchen while my father was at work. So she told him, I don't have 1 child. I have 5 others. And I remember the day when I saw her again, and we were so happy. My mother was working the second shift. My father made her to take that second shift because he wanted the daytime with the kids. I was alone in the house. He called me into the bathroom, and when I walked in there, he didn't have any pants on. I was so scared. He grabbed my arm and it made me touch him. I ran away. His sister lived across. She was our neighbor, and she saw me. She saw me crying, and she didn't say anything because everybody was afraid of my father, and they didn't dare to interfere. There was a warrant out for his arrest, and he disappeared. I didn't see him, and I was so happy that he was gone. And my mother's drinking got even worse, so we would have to go with her. We would sit in the bar room all day long while she would drink with her friends. Junior year, 1982, this is when I met Rob. Rob was the person in my life that when I met him, I felt like I'd known him for life. Rob and I became very close, and when I graduated high school, my mother left. So Rob told me that you're not living here alone, it's too much. So he moved out of his parents' house and moved in to protect me. I got pregnant in 1985 with my son. Having a baby in my life, this was the biggest joy I ever felt. Alyssa was born in August of 1990. Our family became a family. It's all I ever wanted in my life. I wanted my children to have the love of 2 parents. We did a lot with our children. In the summertimes, going to the beach, going on day trips with them. Robbie and Alyssa got so close. He was so proud to be a big brother. Alyssa followed him everywhere. Everything was great. Until Rob found out that he was diagnosed with bladder cancer. When they heard the news, we sat the kids down like a family meeting and told them that Dad had cancer, and Alyssa was devastated. And I didn't know what to do. I was a widow. I was a grieving mother. I was so angry at God when he was gone. My life was turned upside down. Alyssa was 15, isolated. She wouldn't talk to me. I tried to talk to her. I wanted to help her so bad. I took her to counseling. She'd come running in the car, crying, and Mom, I don't want to go here anymore. I don't want to do this. Robbie started using drugs. Oxycontin led to his heroin addiction. My kids were falling apart, and so was I. I don't know what I was being punished for. I was being punished. I couldn't get hold of Robbie. I didn't know if he was going to come home. I got a phone call. Robbie's having an asthma attack. The ambulance found him. He was unresponsive. He went into cardiac arrest. When I finally arrived at UMass Trauma Center, I could not believe what I was seeing. My son was unresponsive. The doctors told me they did everything they could. I was praying, why, God? Why are you doing this again to me? When I walked in that room, there were so many machines on him. My son lasted 24 hours. Alyssa was devastated to see her brother that way. She couldn't believe it. We held each other. After so many tragedies and hurts in my life, this one hurt the most. The others were they were nothing compared to losing my son. The first year without Robbie, I moved to Oxford into an apartment. I lived next door to a Chinese place. There was a bar room in there. I wanted to go in there and drink, so I could hear God's voice saying, "Don't do it. You've seen the devastation of alcohol can do to yourself. It just doesn't affect you, it affects everyone around you. No, come with me." And I started opening the Bible. I started every morning. I would open that Bible and start finding answers. If you're going through a really rough time in your life, you think nobody's there, there is. God's watching you. I was walking through a dark tunnel for a very long time. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep believing and be patient with God. He's going to show you His everlasting love and His mercy on you. So keep going. My name is Shirleyann, and I decided to follow Jesus.